welcome back. We're back, though possibly confused. And I will investigate the volume of the stream at some other time rather than belaboring it now more than I already just have. So shall we go forth down the calmer path to something more horrible?
Okay, sure. You can.
Sounds good.
The boat moves on forwards. That would be interesting, Kaki. So, this would be a great moment for your curse to kick in. Don't you think so?
I guess. I mean...
How about turning the material the boat is made of into, I don't know, something you can fall through, like water or air?
You can pick one.
Jelly. I'm gonna go with jelly. Or jam. Jam. Jam.
Okay. Or maybe raspberry jam.
No, I think it's quite distinctly strawberry. You can lick it as you fall through it into the water.
Still got seeds though.
It does, yeah. So you all fall into the water, and you know the familiar sensation of being shaken to the core of your soul is back.
Can I try the thing again that I attempted last time?
You can totally. What did you attempt?
I attempt to calm down and analyze what's happening.
Okay.
Try to understand what's going on. Was noticed, right?
It would require it was empathy, I think, or investigate. It would require a superb result to.
I think you gave me noticed or empathy as the.
Yeah, empathy. Noticed. Okay, yeah, sure, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah, go ahead.
I needed what?
No.
What? I needed a superb result.
Superb is a 5.
Yeah. That means I can't even reach it with a fate point. That's too bad.
You could try re-rolling it and hoping that you get the good result, but the chances are quite slim.
Nah, that's ridiculous. That won't happen. I know it. Today I'm bad at rolling.
No, don't worry. You'll store up the good rolls for when you really need them.
And
I don't.
oh,
Yeah.
and Goodmal will just mutter to himself, "It hates this place. Hates it with a passion."
Guys, I don't see you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
No, they can't hear us anymore. Or can they? Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we're refreshing.
Okay. So yeah, that's the cool thing about TeamSpeak is that even when the Roll20 connection decides to cut out, we still have audio.
Yay! I think we'll be back soon.
Hopefully.
So yeah, all of you need to try actually one of you needs to try very hard to not drown. The other 2 of you need to try very hard not to lose conscience.
Oh, what's happening?
Oh, that's everybody.
Yeah, that's everybody.
Well, not me. Haha. I mean, yes, on Roll20, my cam is out, but the stream can still see my whatever face, however you want to describe it.
I can see myself now again too.
Okay, yeah.
Is it broken for everyone then?
Yes.
Roll20.
That
was my
no.
internet.
Like I can see Mark.
You can see me?
Yes, you're back.
Ooh.
Although On
maybe
my
it's-
side, I'm
maybe
still
it's 'cause it's
okay.
refreshed.
So I'll
When you
refresh too.
refreshed- Okay.
Let's just, I don't know.
We'll refresh as well. So
Okay. Aha!
Ooh. Okay, we don't see Cypher yet, but we're back.
But yes.
Yeah, and,
And if Brad sees Cypher, then it. Oh, there we go.
Okay, we're all good.
Missed you guys.
Yes. Recovered from that hiccup. Oh.
So yeah, Cypher. Since you can't breathe underwater, I suggest you try not to drown.
but that's a good idea. So I try not to. I just
I
keep
guess
my head.
swimming would be athletics. Just keeping your head above water is a fair fair skill test, but if you wanted to make progress, you'd have to roll higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep your head above water, but you're not, getting any closer to shore. You guys sunk in the middle of the big lake, by the way. So you're sort of closer, I guess, than you were when you were in the river, but still quite an edge from shore.
And is that a physique test to stay conscious?
I'd say will.
Will? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I suppose that makes more sense.
Why do you keep doing this to me?
I know!
I said I prepared something really evil for you guys.
I could just roll will.
No.
No, it's good.
Okay, you sink to the bottom, you lose consciousness.
Of course I do. At least I can breathe.
Yes.
Why doesn't Cypher need to remain conscious?
I can. It's okay.
Well, he does, but he also needs to swim and keep his head above water. So for him, it's actually harder. Squidmaw, you stay conscious, but you don't really have any attention left to do something.
This is not funny today.
Let me see. I mean, I've been stocking up all these. I've been stocking up all these fate points. So let me see if there's anything that's appropriate here.
Well, you can take.
Oh, well, I mean, I am. This is a kind of liquid that's assaulting us. It may, it may be some sort of spiritual thing of a different matter that's causing it. But I think that being blessed by the sea would help me keep my wits about me in mission.
It certainly would.
Okay. So I will try to catch M and Cypher if need be, and swim for the other side.
Cypher is keeping his or her head above water, but is not making any progress towards shore.
I do make progress. It's just so slow you can't see it.
Okay.
And yeah, and with this speed, you'll reach shore in 2 years or so.
Okay. Well, I'll
I got time.
I'll move a tentacle into reach so that she can grab on as I swim.
Okay.
And I'll just say, hang on to the squid bar. He knows where he's going.
Okay.
For once.
So you're moving progress, but I don't think you get very far since you have to drag 2 people along.
Can I, in the meanwhile, try it again?
Yeah, like right now, you guys can all try again. Why don't you try to regain your consciousness?
No problem.
It's going to be a fair difficulty.
I'm just going to just roll a 4. I'm sure.
You stay unconscious. Ooh. Okay, Cypher just swims to shore. This boost of like energy. It's like, screw this. No stupid water can stop me.
Okay. So, given that I'm not burdened by Cypher, do I need to make another check?
You would need to make another check, yeah, but it's going to be less hard to drag Em along.
Okay.
Get somewhere.
And that's another will check, or is this just swimming?
I'd say it's swimming if you're trying to drag her along, I guess.
Okay. Oh. Over. Alrighty.
Okay. You drag M to shore. And as soon as he pulls you out of the water, you regain your consciousness. But you did have to be, dragged along by.
Yeah. and as you wake up, there's like flippers in your face, and
blooming here.
Yeah. Yep. Although as you wake up, there's like flippers in your face, and Squidmaw kind of hovering over you with fishy breath, saying, "Wake up, lass."
I want to refill my bottle.
You want to what?
When I'm in here anyways, so.
You want to do what?
Refill the bottle.
Okay. You can.
Okay.
Might as well.
Let's try to understand what's happening here.
Sure.
Let's notice. I will use my fate point if that's possible.
You can.
Okay, then I lower the amount.
But what are you invoking? I'm curious.
Yeah.
I think it would be good one to strong will to back down.
Okay. Totally.
That would work, or I think you have some others that might be like your high concept would also in this case work.
Okay.
Or your third one.
Okay.
So you've heard this saying about these waters here. That is, a ripple in these waters can cause an earthquake in the outside world.
Well, good of us to splash around then.
So, reality in the outside world has shifted. Not just a little bit. No, you guys just jumped into the thing. So, something or many things are going to be massively different when you leave this cave.
We totally need a wiki page on why that happened. Different theories of.
That are all, by the way, wrong.
Yeah.
Well, beside that Alban one, of course, that one is obviously right.
I mean, the
Clearly.
Why something changed in the world.
Okay.
What the reason for that is, who did that, and why it happened. That's what he meant.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any suggestions? I could say that a lot of time has passed, or which would be really, change the world.
It makes sense, but
okay.
Actually, if you say it like that, that would be probably the best time ever to cut the session and let us think about it for the next one.
Well, I mean, we haven't gotten out yet, so I mean, we could even figure it out between sessions.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's a good chance we're going to still be in the cave at session end or just emerging.
Well, you're near the cave entrance, right? You're at the beach that you arrived at.
Yeah, but I mean, we're going to go back and go back taking the other path and try and find the hand, because we've
You're gonna try to do what? You're gonna try and go back and.
Taking that other path and try and find the hand, because that's what we're here for, and we've been through all this stuff, and damn it.
I'm not sure if the hand is there. I mean, out of character, I think it's not. But in character, I might think it is.
So you've gone through the whole thing, and you haven't seen it, and the whole maze you've gone through is quite collapsed.
Okay.
So it would be good to go back.
Okay. So what's down the path that we didn't take?
That was the path you emerged from.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
You guys just circled the whole maze.
Oh.
I see.
Fair enough.
Okay.
You would have, if you took that path, you would have done it the other way around.
I totally did not get that.
Yeah. Makes sense, but yeah.
Like, that's, hard if you can't see it in your head.
So, let me see. Is it well, I'm gonna check and see if it's like collapsed on both sides, or if it's possible to.
When you left, you could see that it was collapsed on both sides.
Okay.
You can go back if you want.
Like, okay, so even underwater.
The boat would have changed back by now, so you could take the boat again. But
Even underwater. Is it possible to get into any degree underwater, or is it the passageway is like completely filled on both sides?
I guess it's completely filled with rocks. You guys are under a mountain.
Okay.
Crash down.
Damn.
You've done a very beautiful job of destroying this holy place.
Anyway, guys, I think I found out what this water is, or at least what it does.
And
Prepare to be surprised when we go outside, because this water seems to be some kind of mirror for reality. If you manipulate the water, you manipulate reality. So everything might be a bit different when we come back. In fact, the air might be not the same one we're breathing now. So
Squidma says, Squidma has no idea what you just said. But, alright.
we change the world in a bigger scale than any politician ever has.
Ah. Excellent.
And good or not. But we can find out.
Well, this wretch is always glad to spit in God's eye. So
maybe you should jump in a few more times.
yeah.
Really big. Do like I don't know how you call that in English, but when you curl up like a ball and try to make the biggest splash you can.
Cannonball.
Cannonball, right?
Actually.
And I already have an idea for what happened.
Okay.
I have an idea too. Actually, I have a lot of ideas. Oh my god, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. Since you said that, I'll go back to the pool. Oh.
It doesn't change anything else.
And
anyways.
Could I?
Every splash, like the bigger the splash, the bigger the effect. So
yeah, but
everything changes something.
We made so much splashes already. It
That
doesn't
it might
even
not
matter.
matter.
Yeah. Well, could I take a fate point to belly flop?
Okay, but then you guys won't have a chance to decide what happened. Then I'm just gonna decide what it is.
I'm fine.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, I'm up for that, but
against that, by the way, like I said, like you can give each other your own fate point if you want to cancel the invoke.
Okay.
Or the compel. Sorry.
So I'm up for that, but if you guys as players would rather that I not exacerbate the situation, then I'm okay with that as well.
Just go ahead.
The problem is my character does not care. In fact.
Okay.
But I think it would be cooler if everybody could have some ideas, and then we made it out as a group, and it's gonna be fine for everyone.
Okay.
That's fine, then I won't offer the compel. So, I guess you would have done it, but the idea just didn't come up in
Okay. Well, yeah, I will go back, but rather than doing like a big belly flop that's going to change things more, I'll just fit into the pool.
Really like this tiny ripple from where your spit hits the water.
Alrighty then.
Sinks to the bottom, fouling the water forever.
Let's see what we have wrought.
Interesting. I'm sure it uncovered a lot of things to see.
I look at the orb, by the way, that I got, because it must be so glowy right now, because I was in this water with it all the time.
Oh yeah, it's like it's hard to look at it. It is bright, shining.
Is it hard? Does it feel like glass or?
It feels like clay. It's like has that rough texture, but when you feel it, it feels slightly warm to the touch, in a pleasant way. And
Nice.
then again, in a not pleasant way. You know.
So I'm thinking for one of the changes in the world is that perhaps war has broken out.
Well, that fits really well with my idea.
Okay. And I don't know necessarily between whom. I mean, possibly between the islands or between just like all out war between pirates and the government, or maybe between both and a third party that's like something that's seeping through a crack in the world, or something of that sort. I don't know.
So my suggestion would be that a lot of time has passed, and that the hand indeed wasn't safe for much longer. And the demon that had the hand is now loose upon the world, waging war on it.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
My idea is complete contrary.
Okay.
I thought an awesome idea would be if we knew that the future is not that good because we made it worse, but actually we went into the past. And we all have something in the past that we want to stop, that we don't want to happen. And actually, we can stop ourselves from causing all these troubles. So we have our own goals, what we want not to happen with our characters or anything else. And we need to stop us from actually manipulating the world in this way that it's all downhill.
That's interesting as well.
It is.
I suggest like that, you give some more like ideas about what the specific like format for that is on Skype, and then we can discuss like the formats. Then Ariel also can give a say in that.
I was thinking about someone else finding the hand, and getting it and using it for whatever purposes he or she wants, and instead of your idea had someone is using the hand and it's this monster thing that is, but I split that into two, which someone finds the hand and uses it, and another thing is that I don't know, someone like Squidmo or Squidma himself kind of released these sea monsters that are ruining that are attacking ships or whole islands and are totally destroying. This is a monster raid of huge octopuses and parasites and stuff.
There could totally be multiple effects because you guys splashed it a bunch of times.
Like swam in it and drowned in it almost.
Yeah. So you can totally like write your own ideas or list of ideas that change the world. I suggest you don't do more than 2 or 3 because then obviously that would get needlessly complicated for me. But
I don't like too much the idea of too much time passing by in either direction, because I think you created this whole world in one way, and if a lot of time passes, a lot of these things that you had will not exist anymore. So I feel like we would be just throwing that away.
I don't think it would be a problem for me because I can just reimagine what would this person do in a state of war, or obviously there's not going to be like 200 years passing, but if it's like 5 years in the future, most people are still going to exist, and the world may be different and they may be different, but they're still going to be there.
Yeah, I just didn't want 2,000 years pass.
Yeah.
No.
Well, actually, let's maybe incorporate both ideas and have just time become less fixed, and it can like sort of jump back and forth unpredictably.
Okay, but then I'd like to keep each individual session either in the past or in the whatever. So that for me it becomes a little more manageable, and rather than that I have to decide halfway the session, okay, now we jump back.
Well, I mean, in any case, it would be at your discretion.
That's an option, sure. That would be weird, because if you then change something in the past, then it could be really interesting, I guess.
I think it would be fun if we really go back to the past, like for some years. I don't know how long it was that your character got cursed, Brad, but if we really manipulate a lot of things in their way, and we actually playing both groups, and they are both interacting with each other, but without really meeting, and we are setting traps.
A group in the future and a group in the past. Group.
Yeah, like first off we do something in the past, and then
how about
then we get to the point where our group met, and then everything gets to a really, really awesome experience, because you're playing two groups, maybe even against each other, which consists of the same people, but the ones know more than the others, and it's completely open what happens.
How about this? In the future, you know what you're doing, but in the future, obviously, you can't influence the past. In the past, however, you are in the past, so you don't know what you are doing in the future. So in the past, you're not aware of that your actions, what you do, influences your own future more than any person would be. And then in the future, you are obviously aware that you screwed up in the past, and now you have to live with the consequences of whatever stupid you did. Or, awesome you did. I mean, it could be both ways.
Also, I'd like to request that there not be like a one-to-one causality between things that we do in the past affecting the future. It's just sort of a minor nitpick. Well, maybe not a minor nitpick. A nitpick I have about time travel stories in general is that usually there's like this big thing about worrying about paradox and that
Butterfly effect.
yeah. And I guess just the way that I conceive of time, and the only way that time travel makes sense to me is that is under sort of a multiple worlds theory. So things in the past, traveling to the past can change the future, but not necessarily. It changes the probabilities. But there's always sort of a range of possible paths one can take.
Sure, that's fine with me. Makes sense.
Cool.
It doesn't make that too complicated as well.
It actually solves a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of two groups of the same Squidmore, Cypher,
Well, I like the idea, but I'm not sure if it makes sense because the world changed, but you didn't suddenly split up into two groups. So that's the main problem I have with that.
So you think it would be not possible if we go back in time that we our group consists in that timeline as well?
Well, obviously, your past selves could live there. There might be two versions of you in the past.
That's what I mean.
But when you go to the future, I guess the world moved, or if the world changed, I guess it could. That because the world changed, you never went here, but you're still here. So now there's two groups of you. I guess that could work. What do you guys think of that?
I think it could be a kind of race against the time to stop ourselves from doing something stupid, our past selves, and clearing the situation. That could be fun.
I'd be up for that. Whatever the reasoning.
I think if the world changed in such a way that you never went here, then there could be two versions of you because you're here, but obviously you also are not here.
Yeah.
And if you then add the fact that time is messed up and you go to the past and the future and everything, then
because of that, I think past would make more sense because there we could also fight our troubles as characters and have a way to do a lot of stuff. Obviously, screw that if you have some plans for that, then.
Well, we can do both, right? You go to the past and to the future. That it changes. That time is just messed up, which explains why you never got here in the first place.
Does it mean that one of the groups would know why the world is like that, and the other won't?
Yes. The other would probably have their own theories and have tried to solve it in their own way, which is the disaster that you guys are trying to stop them from doing, or something like that.
Actually, I think it makes more sense if we actually write down what our ideas are, what concepts we have, and then we can talk about it and make compromises and think about what's.
And we should ask Ariel.
Yeah.
For one.
So that everybody is happy in the end.
So I think we should do end of session stuff. So there's the wiki that we can talk about, and the Pirates Code that you guys obviously added your own stuff to.
Yes.
And what did you guys think of this session?
I think it was great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Did some awesome stuff and some stupid stuff, and it was great.
I'm hyped for the next ones now.
I love that it's suddenly taken on this like epic feel. like before, the story was a bit more personal and small scale, and that was great. But you know, I like that there's these sort of apocalyptic undertones emerging, and that we're messing the world up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was all you guys, right? I just created this, this idea, a ripple in the water is an earthquake in the outside world, and then you guys decided to jump in it like a sponge. You didn't really give me a choice. But I'm glad you guys liked it.
Sure.
That guy was a dick.
But I think he was pretty nice to us, considering we just messed up all the world. So
I don't think he cared too much about the world.
no, fair enough.
I don't know.
It was in general meant to be very impartial.
Unless to Squidmore.
Kind of like a neutral judge. So he would judge and he would, execute his judgment, but he would also not care in a certain way. I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think so.
So the Pirates Code. Did anybody add anything to that? Oh, definitely.
Yes. There. I didn't since last session, but I know there were additions. Get this up.
Okay. Yeah, these ones are nice, I think. Do you guys all agree with each other's Pirates Code? Maybe you can all read your own thing aloud.
Mine is short reckonings make long friends.
Which means?
Means don't owe each other stuff. Because, that messes up friendships. And not friendships, but, what's the word?
Relationships?
Relationships.
Okay, and how do you see that used in game?
Well, if I don't, the simplest thing would be, I guess, money or resources like that. But others would be, saving your life, and then the other guy acts like nothing happened and doesn't return the favor, I guess.
Okay, so it's more of an always return the favor and pay each other back kind of thing.
Yeah.
And preferably as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys agree with having that kind of rule in your crew?
Sure.
Mark?
Well, that's good. Sure, why not?
Okay, who wrote rule number 2?
Okay. That was me. And I mean, I didn't add it really as something as a player I feel strongly about necessarily, but more like, gee, this sounded like a cool thing to add, and like something that would make sense as Pirates Code, which is turn port in a calm, not in a storm, meaning that don't while it's understandable that a crew would mutiny. I mean, that's how a pirate ship becomes one, generally. It's against the code to mutiny in the middle of a fight with somebody else.
Well, it's up to you, like what you base your role on. It's more of a, hey, you can pick one that you like from, like, does it feel piratey, or you can pick one where you think like, hey, this is kind of something, because when Ariel is here, I'm going to have you guys swear to the Pirates Code at some point, or in game, as we're a crew, we're gonna stick together. I mean, these are our rules. So your characters are in some ways bound. Of course, you can try to break it, but you'll probably make the rest pretty angry. So do you guys agree with
Sure.
this rule?
I like it.
Okay. Who wrote rule number 3?
That was me.
Okay.
This rule basically means if someone is doing something and that he's not, that not someone gets in his way, and uh, everybody can do his thing as long as no one is affected without anybody stopping him. This changes if someone asks him to help or whatever. Then it's his thing as well, and then he can do whatever he like.
You guys agree with that one?
Sort of conditionally. I think there are definitely times where it would benefit the story to get into each other's business. But then again, under those circumstances, it may be best to have that rule and just be breaking it when you get into other people's business.
Yeah, I think so too. Because actually, this rule will only be of importance when somebody says, "Hey, that's my fight. Don't get into it," or something like that.
Yeah, you guys, as like, you can go out of character and be like, "Hey, are you okay with me breaking the rule?" Like, you can totally do that as well. And then, you can afterwards play out, like, how does Cypher feel about Squidmaw breaking her rule?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. I mean, we may want to revisit it later, but for now, I think it's pretty good.
Okay, and I guess the last one is Ariel's.
No, it's mine too.
Oh, you wrote a second one.
Yeah.
So officious! All these rules!
So basically, it is no duty of a crewmate to join the fight on another, but it is his duty, however, to not leave him behind.
You still
That
have
means-
nightmares from your first session?
Yes. Like, if somebody picks a fight, the crew doesn't need to help him because he just picked a fight. But if he's in a fight, don't leave him behind, and yeah, it makes sense basically. Don't leave behind a comrade.
So once you join the fight, you're not allowed to leave it unless you all agree. Is what you mean?
Not really. If somebody joins a fight, all the others can watch and do everything they like, but they don't just leave him behind and on his own.
So you need to be in the scene, but you can vote for the other side.
You don't have to vote for the other side. You can just
Well,
stay out.
You can stand back, but you can't just leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't just run away and say, "I'm out of here."
Okay. Well,
Curse you all.
You get one rule for free, but of course, if you want more rules, then the rest has to agree with the fact that you take more rules. But as a game master, I'm totally for it because I think it adds more beef to the Pirates Code. So what do you guys think of this rule?
Sure. Yeah, I guess if let me read again. So basically, if someone, if I don't know, Squidward picks a fight with someone, it's not our duty to help him because it's, I guess, his own thing. But we're not to leave him behind.
Yeah, so you need to stay in the room or wherever he's fighting, but you don't have to join the fight.
Well, staying in the room is it that literal? Staying right there, witnessing it? Or is it like, okay, I'm going to, hide, and then when they put you in prison, for example, get you out and stuff like that? Is it quite literal? I mean, stand there and watch, or is it make sure you bust him out at some point?
Just that. Actually, I like it if it is open for interpretation later on, because that makes it more interesting.
You could also say that no crew member, like, you could rephrase it if you wanted to make it clear that no crew member is allowed to stand by and watch another die. So it means, like, you don't have to join the fight, but if the other really gets like way over in his head and is about to be hanged in prison, then you're supposed to bust him out and save his ass. It would kind of give anybody who wants to fight the freedom to go ham and drag the others down in their misery. I don't know.
There is
It
that.
would be very advantageous for Cypher. For everybody else.
It explicitly says you don't have to fight if you don't like, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm asking. If I decide not to join your fight, would that rule make me,
It means
stand
you
there
can't
and
leave
watch,
with your ship
or
and say,
what?
That's it. Goodbye. We'll never see you again. That's.
I think it's literal that you have to stay in the vicinity, right?
Yeah, but vicinity can mean the same room or the same,
I
scene, but
wouldn't
it
say
can
the
mean,
same
okay, I'm
room,
going
but
to run
just
away now
not.
so I can bust you out later. That's what
I
I
would
mean.
say not leaving the island or something like that without him.
Yeah, that's fine with me. But I'm not okay with, just witnessing it right there, sitting and waiting to see what happens. So because it's if you want to go, if I believe that you are in a lost fight, in a dire situation, I would be able to help you more by letting you get in trouble and then helping you out, rather than jumping in the fight, dying with you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I know about the wiki entry. So someone didn't create a wiki entry. I should create this like thing that you put on, like the cape of shame or something.
So last time they didn't do anything, and you said nothing, and I had
But
like
now I'm
3
here.
entries and
Now
all the
I'm here.
footnotes. And now you're all.
But they have the advantage of being very far away from me. So tell us about your entry, Cypher.
Okay. Well, I have to. Said I did the Coral Temple. Oh yeah. The Coral Temple is a giant reef that grew in the form of a giant temple. How it was possible to grow in such a perfect manner is still a mystery, but merfolk use it to worship a goddess. While most of the reef is hidden underwater, the tip of the biggest town is in the middle. In the middle of it is over the surface. It is said to be near the Barnacle Beach somewhere.
Okay. And did you make any footnotes anywhere?
I made a lot of footnotes, but I did also the Hollow Sword.
Oh, you did. Okay. Well, go ahead to the Hollow Sword then. Ooh, that's a big one.
One of the biggest legends all over the Seven Seas. Only demons
You don't have to literally read it if you don't want to, by the way. You can also just give us your version.
The problem is, it is kind of big, so I will forget some points.
Sure. Go ahead.
Only demons can use it, and though there are a lot of legends saying it has a lot of different powers, they all agree on one. The sword is able to extract the soul of the pierced victim, leaving the body an empty shell. From there are 3 options for the victim. The weak-willed one will be completely absorbed by the sword, doomed to eternal despair and madness, fueling the sword power. Persons with a stronger will can escape this fate, or at least what's left of them. They return to their body, changing forever. They become lower demons, made to herald the rise of his new brothers and sisters and running amok. But they are harmless compared to the souls accepting and embracing the demonic influence of the sword. They become complete and high demons, which makes them incredibly powerful. Though they keep their old personality, will, and appearance, people embracing the demonic existence and ideals aren't nice fellows anyways. Am I right? Nobody knows where the sword is or who possessed it, but it was said that it got lost in a war a long time ago. Demons versus angels. It clashed with its contrary, the solid sword, which broke into pieces while the hollow sword was flung through the dimensions.
Nasty. And how about you, Brad? What did you write about?
I wrote about the Pirate Queen Sybil, And it's widely agreed that both her fleet and her magical skills were feared above all others in her day. And she's believed to be many years dead, but rumors of her ghost appearing on Barnacle Island and occasionally elsewhere are not uncommon. Claims as to her nature vary wildly. Some tales insist that she's kindly to seafaring folk and maintains Barnacle beaches, I should correct. Purported code of amity between pirates. But other tales describe her as a harrowing evil spirit.
I should dress up like her.
Well, obviously this can't be right. I mean, the writer of this didn't even get the name of Barnacle Beach right. So
Yes.
write her a footnote one step forward and tell this horrible scholar what exactly he's gotten wrong.
Okay. Actually, it's not correcting him, but it's more an addition. There are rumors that the ghost of Sybil tries to convince weak-minded people to do her bidding by preparing ancient rituals to bring her back to life again. She promises those who help her incredible things, often what they most desire. But should you really trust a ghost that used to be a fearsome pirate?
Of course.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to extend some trust.
Okay.
Especially to ghosts that used to be fearsome pirates.
Yes, especially.
And then I footnoted something.
Ooh.
Uh,
Do footnotes of old footnotes of new things, because then I think we could spend forever reading through everything. So footnotes to new things, I do, but I won't go back and read through all or read the footnotes of everything aloud, because then I think we'd spend a long time here reading up text, and I don't think that would be particularly interesting to listen to.
sure.
All of us have access to this, and if somebody finds it interesting who's watching the stream, I'm totally willing to create a copy that you guys can look into. Or add it to some forum post or something.
Okay. Well, I will point out that since I took the time to write it and it's up on the screen, that footnote 2 is new. If anybody wants to take a look at that before we move on. So were there any other? So was that all the entries?
I think so. I don't know if Ariel wrote something, but I didn't see anything new. And she wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
Okay. So shall we call it?
Yeah, I think so. Oh no, I had an idea. Since you guys can't seem to decide on a name or a flag, right? My idea was that you just put a poll on the forums and you guys can vote, and anybody else can vote as well with the suggestions that you guys created. Everybody can come up with a suggestion for a flag and a crew name, and then we can just vote on the poll, and anybody else can vote as well, and then we just see what the new name is going to be. I'm
Yeah, I like that idea.
You guys discuss, but then you guys have been offering vague ideas and not really reaching anything for a while, so this seems like it would be the most practical solution.
The thing is, actually, I thought you would talk about him a bit more in this session, but then Ariel was missing, so.
Well,
I mean, we can do that, but
until the end of the week
I
we don't have
think...
anything. Brad can put out a poll and then.
Okay. So we're gonna why don't we discuss it some more during the why don't we discuss it some more during the week on Skype to put together a list of entries for both and then put up the poll fairly early on in the broadcast next week. Give people plenty of time to vote.
Sure, and if you really want to, decide to think for yourself, I'm fine with that as well. But then I'm not going to warn you that it's, almost Wednesday and you guys have to do it. So, either next week you give me a name and a flag, or you give me each one entry for the poll. And if you don't have an entry, that's fine. Then you did add something.
Yeah, you just lose or refresh.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Cool. Well,
Then I think we're done.
so thank you guys. It was a great pleasure as always. And especially thank you, Hasa, for running. That was very cool. Chat, thank you for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it, and love that anybody is like interested in following our adventures and watching us go down in glory, or more likely infamy. Let's see. I guess I should mention coming up. There is on Saturday. There's the usual Taking Waterdeep coming on at 10:30 p.m. Pacific, and Dark Revelations, which runs on Sundays, has in fact finally returned. So if you are at all interested in checking out like this post-apocalyptic hodgepodge with lots of like funny stuff going on, like the characters are kind of interesting. There's a demon who's kind of the PCs. There's a demon who's kind of derpy but sweet. There's a heavy metal bull named Beelzebul. I'm playing. I'm just in the middle of switching characters. But the new one is a roach bot. And at some point, it's still being negotiated, but at some point, fairly soon, there's going to be a special broadcast of Open Legend of the Open Legend RPG, which is a new open sourced RPG that I'll be doing a demo of with the creators. So I'll have more details on that fairly soon.
Nice.
And I think that's all the self-promotion. Do you guys have any shout-outs, anything that's going on, like to let the internet world know about?
I am hungry.
Okay.
Keep watching us. I don't know. Keep watching Bram. Follow the stream. All of you.
Okay.
Send Squidmaw after you.
Yes. Arr. Well, thanks again, and have a good one, everyone. I guess I should also mention that I'll probably be doing hanging out, playing Magic, probably tomorrow night, like starting around 11:30. But that's less set in stone. But if you're following, then the notification will beep if I do it. And I guess that's it. Bye.